Nothing is impossible with God. This statement is one that I've been thinking about and kind of wrestling with as I begin planning for my kid moment this Sunday for the kids. It's kind of a bold statement that we may remind ourselves of, or we may pray it over someone or try to use it to encourage somebody that we might know. It can even come as an easy statement to say to someone, or maybe even to hear it said to us. But do we actually believe those words when we say it to someone else or when we hear it for ourselves? Especially when we're in the thick of our stuff, when we're praying the names of loved ones day after day that they will come to know who God is. Or we're praying for a new job. We're praying for a spouse. We're praying for a baby to come. We're praying for the healing or for a negative test result. Do we still believe that nothing is really impossible with God? Well, what a better place to look than in the scriptures, where there are countless stories where God shows up in different stories, shows up in different places to show how powerful he really is. In Genesis chapter 1, Abraham and Sarah are given a promise that one day they are going to have a son, and not just a son, but they are going to have descendants that are going to be countless as there are stars in the sky. Listen to what it says in Genesis chapter 1. The Lord kept his word and did for Sarah exactly what he had promised. She became pregnant and she gave birth to a son for Abraham in his old age. This happened at just the time God had said it would. At an old age, Abraham and Sarah had done the impossible through God of having a son of their own. 1 Samuel chapter 16, we see David is chosen as the next king even at a young age, even above all of his older brothers that he had that were probably stronger than he was, maybe more handsome or more capable of becoming king. But David was chosen by God even at a young age that he would be the next king to come. Not because of his age or his appearance or even his skills, but because of his heart. Matthew chapter 8, Jesus heals an outcast, a man who was unclean with leprosy, with his healing touch. Jesus touched the man and healed this man. The man was healed, and within the same time frame, a Roman officer's young servant laid in bed paralyzed and was healed just by the words of Jesus. Jesus didn't even walk to the place. He just said, because of your faith that you have, go, this person has been healed. It says in Matthew chapter 8, then Jesus said to the Roman officer, go back home, because you believed, it has happened. And the young servant was healed that same hour. Countless people who were healed from their sicknesses, multitudes of people that were fed by just a little bit of food, sins forgiven and lives changed, story after story that show not only the awesome power of God and what he is able to do, but that truly nothing is impossible with God. What I want you to remember today, this morning, this week, today, is that really nothing is impossible with God. But my challenge for you is not just to pray that or to say it to the next person that you see today, but to believe it and to use it as a way for us to continue seeking his help and seeking his direction and also correcting us in our lives too. We can pray that prayer reminding us and praising God that God, there's nothing that you can't do, that you are all capable. But we also need to pray it and let go of the reins and allow God to work. Even praying that, God, nothing is impossible with you. I'm still going to hand over whatever I am trying to deal with. I'm going to let you do it in the best power that you can. I'm also challenged this morning to think about what are ways that God has shown up in my life and has shown his awesome power that he has and has shown me that, wow, God, you have shown up and you have done amazing things. And not just to keep those things to myself or journal them in my journal to keep for me to read at a later date, but to share those moments where God has shown me that he is capable of many, many things. So I would encourage you this morning or this week to think about those moments where God has shown his awesome power and share those moments with other people around you that may be going through the same thing that you're going through, or maybe just want to hear about how God really is at work, not just from the stories that we read in our Bible, but how he's at work even today. Let me pray with you this morning. Dear Jesus, we thank you for showing up in our lives in the many different places, God. And God, we just thank you that you are an awesome, awesome God. We thank you for your awesome power that you have when it comes to healing a sickness or bringing lost ones to you or helping us to get a job or whatever the circumstance may be. God, we just thank you that you are working even in these days, God. But God, help us. And we know that we need your help to let go of the reins sometimes. To say, God, I trust you and I believe that you can do these things, but I'm going to let you do these things and I'm going to let you show your power. Thank you for story after story, not just in the Bible that we can read about you showing up, but God, there are people within our congregation, within our families that I know have had stories where you have shown up and you have shown that nothing is truly impossible with you. We thank you for this simple reminder and just hope that this would just help us through the week as we go on through our tasks or whatever we may be doing, God. And we just thank you and we praise you for your awesome power that you have. We love you. Amen.